Hey guys, so the movie I decided to talk about is The Hunger Games, which I'm really familiar with just because it's one of my favorite movies. So, going right into dominant ideologies, the two main ones that I saw were class and social status, which I think kind of go hand in hand. So, although the districts aren't necessarily divided by wealth, there are certain wealth attributes for each district. So, like District 1 has more money than District 12 or something like that. Um, and I say it goes hand in hand with social status because the higher in class that you are and money you have, essentially you also have a higher social status. So you just look at the capital themselves, they are absolutely wealthy and they are the highest of the social status in comparison to District 12 where they don't have a lot of money and they are literally nothing to the capital. So two forms. So forms of overt and covert power. Overt, I would have to say, although there's a lot of different forms of that within the movie, people having to participate in the games, and some people don't have to participate in the games, is an example of overt power. This is something that isn't hidden. The kids in the capital aren't participating in the games, and that is on purpose. And there's a reason why the kids in the other districts are participating in the games because this is just how they are establishing their role in power. And going along with that, the Hunger Games itself is an example of overt power because that is just the capital and the government showing everyone else that, hey, this is what we're going to do because as a consequence of obviously the rebellion that had gone on. An example of covert power, easy, is the clothing that they wear. So although, someone from District 12 is totally able to wear something that people in the capital are able to wear, they can't because they can't afford it. So that is just one example of covert power. And in what ways are the citizens oppressed and exploited? So the citizens are oppressed by not giving a choice in participating in the games. They are automatically put into the little raffle fishbowl thing and chosen when they are kids, and that goes away once they turn 18, but up until then it's pretty much free game. So they are oppressed in the fact that they just don't have a choice on whether they can participate or not. Obviously there's volunteers, but you can't necessarily back out of it. And so that also kind of goes into the lifestyle that they are oppressed in, and it goes with exploitation as well. So each district is in charge of producing a certain product or good. So like there's agriculture, and then for District 12 it's coal mining, and the capital takes a lot of what is being produced and only leaves the districts with very minimal of what they are actually making. So the being exploited by having their goods and services just being taken by the capital. So an example of hegemony. So the capital definitely is an example of a totalitarian government with President Snow right in the middle of that. So, the Hunger Games was created after the rebellion, and ever since then, people kind of accepted that this is just something that they're going to have to go through. So much so that there was a point in the movie where Katniss and Gale were talking in the woods, and Katniss was talking about how she just would never have kids just because she knows this is just how the life is going to be there. They've kind of just accepted it no matter how messed up it is, that's just how it's going to be. And so with manufactured consent, you can see that with the richer districts, so District 1 or 2, people are preparing and volunteering for the Hunger Games because at that point they have adopted the ideology that this is just how they're going to be, so they might as well embrace it. So they're preparing for that so they can actually win. And then a huge way that people are complacent are by them watching the Hunger Games themselves. So this is more specifically for the people in the capital. They see this as a TV show, almost like a game, literally like a game to them. And so they are helping or supporting the oppression and exploitation by watching it and being there, just being complacent to it. And then resistance, Peeta and Katniss were going to eat nightlock nightlock berries at the very end of the movie, and that was kind of to show the government that they are in fact control of their own life and not the government. And it ended up working because the rules were bent over for them. over this. And so that is that. And so for the very last question, this kind of allows organizations to view things in a different way that they normally would have, which is really unique. You can see a different power structure within different organizations, and for the most part, it's good or neutral. But at the same time, it also allows for people to see the oppression when it's going on, and also give them the opportunity to make a difference when this oppression is going on. And I'm a little bit over 5 minutes. I'm so sorry, Dr. Weller.